Good afternoon and welcome to the Midday News. Here's what we have in the bulletin. St. Catherine most wanted captured. Pandemonium at Algajay meeting. And later in sports, Reggae Boys squad announced for friendlies versus Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kerry Ann Simpson. Here are the details. The St. Catherine North Police is reporting the capture of one of the division's most wanted. He is Glendon Amos, otherwise called Bull. The police say a vehicle he was traveling in was intercepted on the Edward Seaga Highway heading toward Monique St. Anne last night. Mr. Amos was being sought for multiple murders in Linstead, St. Catherine. He is said to be the main suspect in the murder of Marion Phillips in Commodore on September 13 last year. Now, Miss Phillips was the mother of a serving member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF. Meanwhile, President of the St. Catherine Chamber of Commerce, Dennis Robotham, is reassuring the business community that normalcy will return to the old capital in short order. Speaking at the recent monthly meeting, Mr. Robotham says despite the declaration of another state of public emergency in the St. Catherine North Police Division, the Chamber is working at ways to aggressively market the business district.
But we have to begin our efforts. This year, I'd like to see our members coming together to sit down and really pool our resources and our minds together to come up with credible solutions that we can make a difference and begin to see.
Mr. Robotham also believes that the old capital has the potential to be self-sufficient in tourism.
What we have here, look at the heritage in the square that is going to ruin. What are we doing about it? Are we going to sit back and allow a potential foreign exchange earner to go down the drain? Are we so self-motivated that we look only at now? What about the future for our children, to those people that live here for so many years? Are we going to sit and watch it just decay? I believe it is time that we come together and begin asking the relevant authorities questions. How, when, where, and why?
CEO of the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA, Shane Dalling, says talks are underway to address the issue of weapon storage for licensed firearm holders, especially those seeking to travel overseas. The St. Andrew South Police is reporting the seizure of a 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 14 cartridges. It was seized by officers on foot patrol along Canary Avenue last night. One man was arrested and taken into custody at the Hunts Bay Police Station in relation to the find. Police had to be called in after the much-anticipated meeting of the Association of Local Government Authorities, Algajay, descended into chaos minutes after its 10 o'clock start at the Gulfview Hotel in Manchester this morning. A new president and vice presidents were expected to be selected at the annual general meeting, which councillors across the island had complained had been long overdue. Now, our correspondent Courtney Morgan was covering the event and has a roundup of what took place.
2 minutes after prayers were offered and the chairman, Mr. Maraj, attempted to move forward with the agenda. At the point where the financial report was to have been discussed, most of the members said that since they had already received the report, the financial report and the president's report, there was no need for it to be discussed. However, Sian Barneswell took objection to that. So too did some of the other members who insisted that a financial report has to be discussed since it was issued to members only last night and some members would not have had enough time to go through the report and to question it.
The last time we met at this body, it was in 2017, and we have a lot of new councillors here. So we're saying to the president, let us have some conversation about the expenditure of the organization. All that is in the report is just 1 year expenditure, which is 2023, 2024. There's no report, financial report, as far back as 2017 as to how the council's subscription has been spent.
This is when things started to go haywire. Some of the members got up from their seat and encroached around the platform where Mr. Marad was trying to restore some order. However, the crowd started getting a bit rowdy, and in the process, one woman, I believe a councillor from somewhere in Mapin, snatched the mic from Mr. Maraj's hand and caused some bruises on it. That was when the meeting descended into disorder. The police were subsequently called in and tried to quell the disturbance. It has taken some time, and I say has because up to this point of reporting, the police are still there amid a vociferous crowd. It has quietened somewhat, but it's not clear whether this meeting will go ahead based on what has happened.
Now we'll have the latest on this developing story in Primetime News at 7. Paternity fraud, or what Jamaicans call jacket, is at an alarming level in Jamaica. But is the answer mandatory DNA testing at birth? Kemon White reports.
When I discovered the first child from my father, I recognized that I was not from this stock.
That's Errol Scott, who shared his story of being raised by a man who was not his biological father. In other words, he was what Jamaicans call a jacket. 876 DNA, a local DNA testing company, recently revealed that last year their 2024 data showed that nearly half of their tests turned up adverse results. That means the two people tested were not related.
But the number is extremely high. So we've heard higher numbers before, but I think that this is the closest to an accurate record that we probably have of the issue in Jamaica.
This has renewed debate about mandatory DNA testing at birth. Member of Parliament for St. James Central, Hirai Clark, believes Jamaica needs a law mandating DNA testing at birth.
What it will do, it will save us a lot of time, court time, if and when there should be an argument as who the father is in the future of that child.
But social anthropologist Dr. Herbert Gale believes that this is a bad idea.
We could actually put a person who is in a position of extreme vulnerability, just having a baby, at major risk of being killed. Yes. And making somebody who would normally harm somebody go into a fit and harm somebody and then spend his life. So the child now has no support system. Absolutely. It's an absolutely frighteningly stupid idea.
Obstetrician gynecologist and social commentator Dr. Michael Abrahams explains that there could be consequences for those affected.
You know, some kids who are jackets, sometimes in the communities, people know. And sometimes even the father is in the community and people know, and they see him and say, boy, look like the brethren, and it can lead to bullying or ridicule, etc. And you have long-term consequences, which I have actually seen. For example, if a boy has been deceived by his mom and told that this man is his dad, and he later finds out it's not his dad, that can shatter that boy's confidence in women in general.
For Dr. Gale, a better approach is more education about the issue.
It is better for us to have a social marketing to educate people, to say, here are the reasons there's child shifting, here's what you can do if you suspect.
Kemon White, TVJ News.
To other news, amid concerns about repeated flooding, critical drains in the Curtis Bottom community and along the coastal highway in St. Thomas have been cleaned. The targeted areas are known problem spots whenever there's a heavy downpour. Residents have expressed relief.
This has been a very good idea, and I am grateful as long as it will take the water from my home, because I have been flooding out every time that the water comes.
Any improvement in any aspect of community life is welcomed by most of the citizens in this community. Any improvement is welcome. So we're glad to see the work going on.
It's now time for a break. Stay with us, more local stories when we return. Welcome back. We're continuing the news. As the St. Elizabeth Technical High School marks its 60th anniversary, a new multimedia center was launched to help students explore careers. The initiative provides hands-on experience and opportunities in the media industry. Antonia Atkinson has the details.
Books, pencils, and pens are what students in most classrooms are used to working with. But at the St. Elizabeth Technical High School, they will soon be working with something a little more high-tech. The school is rolling out a new media department that will provide hands-on experience in fields like video production, journalism, and digital media. Principal Keith Wellington says this initiative seeks to help students discover their passions.
The idea is that we want to digitize our students' performance and give them the opportunity to develop in media careers. So that is what we're trying to do, to put up the physical space to allow that for that to happen.
So you have students in states who are interested in doing that?
Yeah, definitely. I know everybody knows that we're living in the digital age, and so many of our students, they are YouTubers, they are active on social media and so on, but we want to formalize their education in this sphere because it has become such an important part of their daily lives, and many of them want to have a career in media. So this is what this is all about.
Member of Parliament for St. Elizabeth Northeastern Delroy Slowly lauded the initiative. Students have also expressed excitement about the new opportunities.
I feel positive. It is really beneficial to the school. I mean, as I said, I'm not going to be here for long to see how it really turns out because I'm going to leave. But to see it here is a wonderful thing. So I'm really happy for them because they always wanted something like this. So I'm really happy for them.
I believe that this project will definitely benefit the many young people behind me. As a matter of fact, from basic school, whenever I was leaving, the school somehow always seems to get better, and I believe that this is no different. It will definitely benefit the young people behind me. Though it is sad that I won't be here to see it, I'm sure that it will do good things for this school.
Antonia Atkinson, TVJ News.
And it's now time for the Business Minute.
Factories Corporation of Jamaica, FCJ, says it will be building a small and micro business park in St. Thomas because of the high demand for space at the Morant Bay Urban Center. It will be built on lands recently acquired by the FCJ.
And we did that strategically because we wanted the factories as a government agency to be more fluid and flexible in providing space as it relates to small businesses. And we are doing the drawing, we are looking financing, and we are expecting that construction for the small micro business park will start in possible early as April. Construction will commence for that.
Further afield, US President Donald Trump has said he will follow through with his threat to hit imports from Canada and Mexico with 25% border taxes, known as tariffs, on February 1. But he added that a decision about whether this would include oil from those countries had not yet been made. The president also suggested he was still planning to impose new tariffs on China, but did not give any details. And that's it for the Business Minute. I'm Krista Campbell.
Thanks, Krista. Time now for the top regional and international stories.
In the region, Trinidad and Tobago Police Commissioner Arla Harewood Christopher is being investigated for her possible role in the importation of high-powered weapons to the country. The investigation also involves former Strategic Services Agency Director Major Roger Best and a gun dealer. The commissioner was moved overnight from the police headquarters in Port of Spain to a location where she's being questioned. Potential charges include misbehavior in public office and perverting the course of justice. On the international scene, the search continues today for the remains of persons who died in the tragic mid-air collision between an American Airlines regional jet and a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter over the Potomac River on Wednesday night. It is presumed 67 people are dead. The victims included both airline passengers and military personnel, as well as notable figures such as legendary figure skater coach and airline staff. The National Transport Safety Board (NTSB) is leading the investigation and has recovered the plane's black boxes, hoping to uncover answers to prevent such a disaster in the future. And those were the top regional and international stories. I'm Anthony Atkinson, TVJ News.
And we head to another break. When we come back, we'll have your midday sports report.